Lumina Grand 𝗟𝗂 is set to preview from the 12th January 2024 and it might be the only 𝗟𝗂 launch this year. Its location is along Bukit Batok West Avenue 5, bounded to the west by Bukit Batok Road, directly next to another current new project, Altura 𝗟𝗂, which launched on the 5th August 2023, selling 61% on launch day at an average price of $1,433 per square foot and is now 88% sold. Lumina Grand is within 1 kilometer to St. Anthony's Primary, 𝗟𝗂𝗺𝗵𝗵 Primary, the upcoming ACS Primary Campus in Tengah ready by 2030, and also Bukit View Primary, which is set to occupy the empty land plot directly opposite. It is within walking distance to 𝗨𝗏𝗄𝑆 Mall, and just opposite Bukit Batok Road is the upcoming Park Residences at Tengah, which is a mixed HDB development with a range of amenities including a polyclinic. Here's how Lumina Grand compares with Altura. Altura is developed by Qingjian and Lumina Grand is by CDL, with Lumina Grand being a larger project at 512 units compared with Altura at 360 units. Altura is composed of 6 blocks of 15 stories, whereas Lumina Grand has 2 blocks of 12 stories running from level 2 to level 13, and that's at blocks 1 and 5, and the remaining 8 blocks of 13 stories from level 1 to level 13. Altura's units faces mostly northeast and southwest, except stacks 11 and 12, which are facing southeast, both 4-bedroom units. Lumina's units also faces mostly northeast and southwest, except stacks 1 and 4, which faces southeast, overlooking directly into Altura's main pool. Altura has an NOVP, Notice of Vacant Possession, for March 2027, and Lumina Grand has an NOVP for March 2029. And here's a quick overview of the unit types at Lumina Grand. There are 4 types of units: 3 bidders, 3-bidder premium units, 4 bidders, and 5 bidder unit types. Without going into the specifics of every single unit layout type, in general, all units will come with a home shelter, and that's good news because you have this space to put in all of your belongings. All kitchens and all bathrooms will have windows for natural ventilation. All common rooms can fit a queen-size bed, and the master bedroom will definitely be able to fit a king-size bed. The 3-bedroom unit types will also come with a yard and WC, which means more space in the kitchen. The larger 4-bedroom units will come with a landscape-oriented living area and also a wet and dry kitchen. The 5-bedroom units will come with a junior master room, and lastly, the units within this project do not come with a designated study area or study room. If you'd like to view the e-brochure and the floor plans for all unit types, check out the link in the description below. And now for the question on everyone's minds: what will the prices be like at Lumina Grand? Now, to answer this question, let me share a little bit of a primer about how exactly does the price release work at an 𝗟𝗂 launch like this. Beginning from the very start, when the land is released under the GLS Government Land Sales Program. Some land plots are released into the application stage, whereas some land plots are released directly into the tender stage. Being on the application stage means that the land plot will be put up for tender only when a developer has made a successful application with a minimum price which is acceptable to the government. And for land plots in the tender stage, the tender could run for a few months for developers to put in their bids to buy the land. At the end of that tender stage, the land will be awarded to the winning developer, and for 𝗟𝗂 land plots, there is a special criteria in which the winning developer must wait 15 months from the time that they have bought the land before they can put up the project for public sales. During this 15-month wait period, there will be no information on the project name, the floor plans, and definitely not the prices. And at the end of that 15-month wait period will be when the show flat is ready for preview and for buyers like you and me to head down to the show flat and submit our applications to make a purchase. So let's zoom in more specifically to what happens before, during, and after that preview period. 1 or 2 days before the preview commences, there will typically be a press release in which the developer will announce the starting prices per unit category for units at the project. The preview itself typically runs for about 2 weeks, and this is the time where interested buyers will head down to the show flat to submit the applications to indicate their interest to make a purchase. At the end of that preview period, application submission will be cut off, and buyers who have submitted an application will be invited back to the show flat to drop a ballot ticket into the ballot box. At the same time, the full price list of all units at the project will also be made available. This is an example of how the price list will look like, with available prices across NPS and DPS schemes across all units. And finally, balloted buyers will progress over to the booking day where they'll make the purchase of their desired unit. So what then do we make of prices at Lumina Grand? In one of my earlier videos, I did a very simple analysis of the launch day prices across the past 7 EC projects and found that the average increase per project was about $42 per square foot. Now, do note that this average PSF will comprise of units purchased under both the NPS and the DPS scheme, in which units tend to be priced about 3% higher. So this average PSF is really just a rough guideline for us to assess how units were priced at the development. And if we extrapolate that trend, seeing that Altura already launched at $1,433 per square foot, we might be seeing an average launch day per square foot at Lumina Grand of about $1,480. So let's plug this figure into the units at Lumina Grand, and we will have the 3-bidder units at around 1.385 million, 3-bidder premium from 1.434 to 1.45 million, 4 bidders from 1.688 to 1.879 million, and 5 bidders at about 2.214 million. Now, luckily for us, we do have the press release from the developer on the starting prices per unit category for the project, and that's about 2 days release before the commencement of the preview. And this press release states that the 3-bidder units will start from 1.338 million, and that's about 1,429 per square foot. 4 bidders to start from 1.628 million, and that's 1,426 per square foot, and 5 bidders from 2.098 million, and that's 1,402 per square foot. So if you're keen on this project, or for that matter any other upcoming EC project, how do you begin to prepare for it? The first thing to do is to assess your income under what is called an IPA, an in-principle approval. The purchase of a new EC like this comes under the Mortgage Servicing Ratio Framework, which is a regulation that allows borrowers to use only a maximum of 30% of their income towards servicing a mortgage loan. Let me illustrate this with an example. Here I have a couple, both aged 35 years old, drawing an income of $8,000 each, with 2 months of bonus for each of them. Assuming a 4.5% interest safety factor, which may be subject to change, under the Mortgage Servicing Ratio Framework, their maximum loan is $1 million. Now keep in mind, this is only for illustrative purposes. For the most accurate loan figure, do always check with your banker, or can let me know if you need any assistance. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you purchase any residential property with a bank loan, the amount of loan support is capped off at a maximum of 75%. This means that if your maximum bank loan eligibility is $1 million and you purchase a residential property that is also $1 million, your max loan is capped off at 75% of the purchase price. In this case, your maximum loan will be $750,000. At the same time, for buyers taking a bank loan, there is a requirement of a minimum of 5% of the purchase price to be made in cash, and there will also be the corresponding buyer's stamp duty and also legal fees when you engage a lawyer for conveyancing purposes. So now, instead of using the earlier starting prices per unit category, let's use the figure of 1,480 per square foot into all the unit types. And for this particular couple with a $1 million loan, if they're aiming for a 3-bedroom unit, their shortfall will be $385,000. For a 3-bedroom premium unit, shortfall of $450,000. A 4-bedroom unit, shortfall of $700,000. And for the 5-bedroom units, a shortfall of $1.2 million. Now, if you'd like to do your own EC loan assessment, I do have an EC loan calculator that you can download in an Excel format, where you can key in your own income figures and see for yourself what your EC loan could look like, and also compare that loan with a condo loan, which goes under a different framework, the Total Debt Servicing Ratio. A download link for this Excel tool is also available in the description below. A quick disclaimer that this tool only provides an estimate. For the most accurate IPA, please approach your banker for help. And so Lumina Grand will preview from the 12th to 22nd January, with price release being on the 24th and 25th January. 26th Jan will be the balloting day and booking day on the 27th of January 2024. Show flat located just beside Lakeside MRT station. If you are keen to take a look or need any help, please do let me know. Until then, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.